up, Skyhawks? Welcome back to the Skyhawk Talk. I'm your host, Catherine Sweeney, and today I'm here with a junior captain pitcher on the softball team here at Stonehill, Harper Sullivan.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm even more excited. Let's do it. All right. So do you think it takes a certain type of personality to be a pitcher?
I think if you asked me like in high school right before I got here, I would definitely say yes. But I think since coming to Stonehill, I've actually realized that it kind of doesn't, because we have 7 pitchers on our staff, which is obviously a lot, but it's much needed. Like, we need all 7 of us, and it definitely does not take a certain kind of person, because we're all so different. We all bring so many different things to the table, and I think it actually helps us do so much better that we're all so different.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what kind of personality do you have? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm like very competitive, very driven, that kind of stuff. So I think like when I get into the field, I kind of have that mindset of like fake it till you make it. So like when I'm on the mound, I have like a lot of confidence in myself, or at least it looks like it. Sometimes when we're in like big situations and stuff like that, I try to like bring that kind of energy just so like my team feels comfortable, and also just so like I can kind of be like, yeah, I got this. Like, we can do this, that kind of thing.
Okay, so you're a strong presence on the field.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. So I want to say you are very superstitious.
Oh God, yes.
What is the craziest superstition that you follow?
I think I have so many, and it starts with like my day, like just when I wake up in the morning.
I hear the whole thing.
So like basically like I'll get up, I have to get the same breakfast, like the same kind of thing for breakfast, and then we'll like get to the field, like the way I put on my uniform, the sliders I wear, all those things, and then like just like being at the field. My friend Piper, she's also a junior, she has done my hair every single day since freshman year. And I like can't let anyone else do my hair. Like, she has to do my bubbles every single time. So by the time we graduate, she'll do it like over 200 times, because we play like 50 games a year. So it's crazy, but like that's definitely a big one. Like, in between games, I have to like walk, or in between innings, like my teammate and I have to like walk and go get water together, and like just like that kind of thing. And then like my teammate Julie, she's our shortstop, and she's absolutely amazing. But her and I like always, she has to be the last person I high five before I like start pitching, like all the things. I'm definitely crazy about it, and my teammates make so much fun of me, but it keeps me going. So
what happens if your routine gets thrown off?
That comes into, we had like at the beginning of the year, our team made like a goal sheet, and like all of us have like our goals plastered in our locker room. And like my biggest one was like control what you can control. And so like when I kind of mess up my routine, I'm kind of like, let's just like control what you can, because we're just gonna have to get through this, because it's definitely a big adjustment for me, like learning that it's okay. But my friends like are like, you're weird, but it's okay.
So what is the breakfast that you get every single day?
I have to get Back Bay every morning, and I go to Mary Lou's. Yes. And it's like, if I don't do that, I'm like, oh God. Like, and then like when we're traveling and stuff, I get a bagel. Like, I have to, and a Red Bull. Like, my friend buys me the Red Bull in the morning. Yeah, that's crazy.
What's your Mary Lou's order?
I get a Red Bull with pomegranate and raspberry.
That sounds amazing.
Yes, it's so good. I get it like almost every day though. So it's kind of
there's that. That sounds amazing. I'm gonna try it now.
Oh, you should. It's so good.
Right. So do you think your competitiveness is your biggest strength, or something that you have to manage?
Off the field, I would say it's definitely something I have to try and manage, because I am competitive like on the field and off the field. And so I think it obviously takes a certain kind of person for me to just kind of like calm down. My roommate is a huge person for me, of being like, you've got to chill, like that kind of thing. So I think that's definitely big for me. On the field, I think it's definitely like my biggest strength, but yeah.
Sure. So you grew up around baseball with your dad and your brother.
Yeah.
How did that shape your love for softball?
I think it has a huge impact. I think I have such a special bond with them, and like connection with both my dad and my brother over it. And they've just always been there for me. Like, my brother and I had the same hitting coach growing up, and like that's been a huge part of my life, and that kind of thing. And just something we can really bond over. And I think they also just like shape me into the person I am, based on like how they drive me and stuff, and like push me to get better. So.
Is your brother older or younger?
He's older than me. So he's 23 now, but yeah, so he just graduated last year, but he played at University of Puget Sound in Washington State. So that was definitely, yeah, he played baseball there. So it was cool.
It's far away.
Yeah, it definitely is.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Well, not as far for
us.
You at your hometown, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Yes, for sure.
So was pitching always your position, or did you kind of go into that later?
So I'm left-handed, so I can't like with softball, like there's not that many positions that like lefties can play. So like pitching was definitely just like a huge one. And then I also play first base. So like I've definitely gone back and forth. So like here when I'm not pitching, I'm playing first, that kind of thing. So I think I definitely started at a young age pitching and I just like kind of fell in love with it. But I was also the kind of person who was like, I don't want to not just like when I'm not pitching, I don't want to be like sitting the bench. Like I want to be playing something else. Like I always want to be in the game. So like that's why I also focused on like my hitting and stuff, because most of the time like pitchers don't really hit. So that kind of thing was definitely huge for me of like I want to be in the game all the time. So like so I tried to find a way I could. Yes.
When did you realize that you could actually take this to a high level growing up?
Yeah, I think at a young age, like in high school, I played on a really good high school team. A lot of my teammates ended up like one of my best friends. She went to Oklahoma and then transferred to Florida. So like, yeah, so there's like other girls went to like Washington, GCU, LSU, all the things. So it's like, I definitely was kind of just around people who were really good. And I just kind of learned that like, this is something you're supposed to do. Like most of the girls from my high school, like didn't stop playing. They kept going. So it was kind of just like expected, I feel like.
Okay. So you're from Arizona.
Yes, I am.
So moving from Arizona to the East Coast is a pretty huge change.
Yes, for sure.
What made you want to do something different and move to a completely different place?
I think my mom kind of just like taught me to be very like independent and like expect so much out of myself. And I think she like has always pushed me to just like be better and have big goals for myself. And so I think like using that, I kind of just saw it as like an opportunity to like, hey, I can do something completely different. And like, I don't have to stay home and that kind of stuff. And like, seeing my brother go to school in Washington was obviously like seeing that was kind of a huge thing to be like, I'm not staying in Arizona. Like I'm going to go somewhere else too. And then like I lived in California for 7 years and that was like huge for me and stuff like that. So I think I just knew that I like wanted to do something completely different. And that kind of pushed me to go elsewhere.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So you've been to the West Coast before. Have you ever been to the East Coast before?
No, I hadn't. Yeah. So Massachusetts was the first time I'd ever been to the East Coast. It was for my visit. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of nerve-wracking.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was. But then like my biggest thing was like, it's a 6-hour flight home, which is obviously long. But like at the same time, I was like, there's always a flight home. Like I can always go home if I really need to.
So what stood out to you on your visit that made you fall in love with Stonehill?
So this is so funny. So I came for my overnight and we actually I was like, they were D2 at the time. So I committed when we were D2 and I was like able to practice with the team and everything. And I was going to stay the night and like do an overnight. And I ended up we're going to get snowed in. And our assistant coach, Coach Clark, was like, you gotta go. Like, you're not gonna get out tomorrow. If you're like trying to leave, like you have to go into the city now. And so I was like, okay, like we're gonna leave because we were worried about missing our flight. Yeah. So we ended up going into Boston and I didn't stay overnight and stuff like that. But I had the most fun with my parents. Like we were completely snowed into the hotel, but it was so fun. And like my mom and I were walking out in the blizzard and everything. And I was like, I love this.
Had you ever experienced snow before that?
Not like that, no. Like I definitely like gone like up north in Arizona it snows and so like I'd gone up there and stuff, but like not when it's like downpouring snow. So that was crazy to me, but I loved it. It was so fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So was that hard for you at first coming to Stonehill and getting used to kind of intense winters? Because we had an intense winter this past.
Yeah, this year was crazy. And like, I think it's so funny because like our freshman year, my roommate and I would like go outside and like my teammate, Piper, she's from Florida. And so my roommate's also from Arizona, but we like would go out and we would like take pictures of the snow and they're like, what are in the leaves and everything? And they were like, what is wrong with you? I was like, I don't have this at home. Like, this is so new for me. And like, I love it. And I still love it. So it's definitely like an adjustment, like learning to like wear a parka and things like that. But other than that, I love it.
So speaking of adjustments, what was the hardest part of the transition from Arizona to here?
I think just like learning that it is so different. And like one thing that I think is funny is like everyone says like the culture is so different, like here, like the way people act here versus like on the West Coast. And I actually do think that's so true. Like I think people here are so different than they are on the West Coast. And like it's definitely like I love it, but I think it's totally different and you don't really know it until you like experience it for a long time. So I knew I wanted to do something different. So I was like definitely just like trying to adjust and like learning to like rely on my friends, and my roommate is such a huge part. And like I knew her before coming here and she's from Arizona, so that definitely had like a huge aspect of like helping me through all of that. Yeah.
So as a pitcher, you're in control of the game.
Yes, for sure.
How do you handle that pressure?
I love it. I kind of feel like I thrive off of pressure and stuff like that. I think I kind of like when I give up a hit or something, like I kind of look at my teammates and I'm like, hey, like we got this. Like my teammate Julie is like such a huge help on the field. Like she just makes it so different for me. And like I love her on the field. And like if I give up a hit, I'll be like, hey, like you and I are turning too, like that kind of thing. And she just like is like, hey, I got you. And like I trust her so much and I trust all my teammates so much. And it definitely like has a huge impact on like how I feel and stuff. So I think I thrive off of that because my teammates like rely on me, but also like I feel like they thrive off of it too.
So you kind of just answered my next question, which is how do you reset after giving up a hit or?
Yeah, I think it's definitely hard. And I think we all just kind of like look at each other and like, hey, like, let's go. Like, I think it kind of like gives us a fire of like, hey, we need to get this next out. Like, we're going to figure this out and like get through it. But like, let's all bring some energy back, like bring it back to us. And like our coaches talk a lot about like the momentum shift because sometimes it's like in softball, it's very easy to like, someone scores a run, now all of a sudden the momentum's on their side. So like getting that momentum back is something we like tried so hard to work on, and like definitely just bringing the energy, bringing the fun. And like I feel like this year our team chemistry is like the best it's been, and like we have a lot of fun on the field, and we definitely like are getting a lot more goofy and stuff, which is definitely helping us get through like our season because we play like almost like a little over 50 games. So
that's a lot.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So what's going through your head before a big pitch?
Yeah.
Whether that's like this could win the game for them, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on through your head?
I think it's just like, I also like, because I pitch, I hit, and I play first. So I kind of have like a wide variety of like the way I think about the game and stuff. Like I don't just see it on one side. And so I think just like learning to like win the counts and stuff like that. Like our coaches always talk about like getting ahead and like focusing on that. And so I think just like getting ahead first pitch is like so huge for us. And like it really just takes back the momentum for us. And I think we just like kind of thrive off of that and like try and work really hard to like get those big outs and make those huge plays. And our teammates do a great job of like doing that. So
I want to highlight a game that you've mentioned to me before, which was when you guys won 1-0 against Brown your freshman year.
Yes.
What do you remember most about that game?
That was a huge game. It was so fun because I pitched like the entire 7 innings and it was 1-0, which like for our team, like obviously like we like that year specifically, we struggled a little bit with like getting a lot of runs on the board. And so like having 1 run on the board was like huge for us. And then we were just like keeping them to none was huge. And then like the last inning, there was a runner on third and one of our teammates in right field made like a huge catch, which kept the girl there and stuff like that. And so I think that was just so fun. And like everyone, it was so intense. And the whole 7 innings, everyone was just so in the game and we had so much fun. And my catcher, Izzy, at the time, she is just graduated last year, but she had a huge impact on my entire like collegiate career for sure. And like that game, like at the end of the game, we had like one huge hug and that just like meant everything to me. So it was definitely a huge moment for us.
So you mentioned your pitcher,
Yes.
or sorry, your catcher, Izzy.
Yes.
How important is it to have a good relationship with your catcher?
I think it's huge. I think it's so fun when like you can bond with your catcher and they kind of get to know you well and like that kind of thing. And I think it's easy because like we have so many catchers on our team. So like we create great memories with like all of them and stuff like that. And I think it's really fun, but I think it's really important because just that connection like shapes the whole game for sure.
What is something about softball culture that people wouldn't expect?
That is a great question. I think what's so funny is like people don't realize how much of a game of failure it really is. And like, so like in this instance, like as a hitter, if you hit the ball 3 out of 10 times, you're considered like really good. And so it's like, that's like what's so funny is because it's like, for us, it's like, we're always focusing on the mental aspect because it's just like, you're going to like fail more than you're going to succeed. And so I think that's definitely like the hardest part. And I feel like people don't realize that enough is that like, if you hit the ball 3 out of 10 times, you're really good, like that kind of thing. And so I think that's just a huge part of the game that people don't really see. And it definitely like messes with people's mentality a lot. So I think it just shows like how strong we are to like be able to persevere through that and like get through that kind of stuff.
So I just interviewed Cam Morrison, who said the same thing that you just did.
Oh, really?
It's an imperfect game. He was like, it's trying to be perfect in an imperfect game. It's a game of failure.
Yeah, it really is. It is. It's so interesting because it's so different. And like baseball has the same same thing. Like it's the same concept for them too. So yeah.
So you said that you always want to be better no matter what.
Yeah.
Where does that fire come from?
I think my parents have always just kind of pushed me, and like seeing my brother play baseball, like he was always like a driving factor for me of like kind of like that sibling rivalry of like, I kind of want to be better than you. So like that kind of thing. So I think I've always just had that drive from like my parents pushing me to get better, my teammates, my friends, all the things. And just like being at my high school where we were so good, it was like that definitely had like a huge impact too. So I think I've just always had like that competitive drive for sure.
Do you ever feel satisfied, or are you always chasing more as someone who is so competitive?
Always chasing more for sure. I think some people like think I'm crazy, like my friends do, I know, but like I'm always like looking for the next thing and like that kind of thing, and I'm always like trying to push my teammates and all the things, and they push me so much, and we're always just like in that competitive drive of like we're always gonna try and get better and like get more wins and that kind of thing.
So kind of going off of that, talking about your teammates and stuff, what pushes you on days when you are not at your best?
My teammates, 100%. I think they're a huge impact on like me and like my abilities and stuff like that. And like just the energy they bring to the team and stuff like that is so huge. And like some of them are just complete like knuckleheads. It's so funny. And like they'll go crazy and they're so funny. But I think that has a huge impact. And like I really use softball as like an outlet for me in life. And so I think that has been a huge impact of just like having those teammates who are so funny, who are checking in on you, who are like just good people. So I love my teammates. They're amazing.
I want to talk about life outside of softball for a second. So you were a double major in criminology and sociology.
Yes.
What drew you to that?
My uncle was like a big time lawyer, and I kind of just like loved like what he was doing, that kind of thing. And I think just like seeing that and like seeing like obviously how competitive I am and stuff, and like I get very passionate about things. So I think I just kind of like got drawn into that and like seeing myself like doing something there with that.
Okay, so that answered my next question. What do you want to do post?
I'm thinking law school, but I'm kind of like, I don't know yet. So I'm kind of trying to like find something that I really love right now, but that's kind of where I'm at with that.
So one thing you've also told me is you got into running recently.
Yes.
Is that more for training, or is that something that you enjoy doing?
I think so I do it a lot over summer and like breaks and stuff like that. At first I was like, okay, like I'll do this. Like I have to like practice for softball. Like I might as well get some runs in when I don't go to the gym, that kind of thing. But it ended up becoming just like such an outlet for me. And I was using it like late at night. I would go for my run at 8:30 and like go for like a 3-mile run around my neighborhood and then come back, and it really just like helped cleared my mind and stuff. And like between like going to work and then having that, it was like a nice balance for sure.
Have you ever done a race or anything like that?
No, I haven't. But my brother and I want to do a high rocks when I graduate. Like that's like my goal. So
high rocks are so intense.
I know. I really want to do one.
They look like a lot of fun.
Yeah, they do.
It looks like a really strong community.
For sure. 100%. I think it would be so cool.
I'll be rooting you on.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. So how do you think you've grown since freshman year?
Definitely a lot. I think it's crazy just like the kind of person I've like changed into. I obviously like rely on my teammates a lot. I've gone through some like hard things while being here, and like obviously being so far from home has like really shaped me. And like my aunt is like my absolute best friend, but she lives at home, and so seeing her, like obviously I'm not there, and I used to hang out with her every day and like we talk all the time, but she's definitely been like a rock for me and like pushed me to like be better and like be confident in myself and like try and like enjoy every little moment here.
What has softball taught you about yourself?
I think it really shows how competitive I am and how passionate I could be about things. I think obviously like beforehand I didn't really like, I wasn't always in control, and I feel like softball was something that I just felt like I could really control about myself. And so that just really was huge for me, and I love it. And I think it's taught me so much about myself, and it's taught me like so much for like later years and stuff. And I think it's really funny because I have like such a problem with like being early. Like I have to be like, I will show up everywhere 15 minutes early just because like
that happened today.
Yes, it did. Exactly.
Like on the dot, 15 minutes early.
I have like, it's such a thing for me, but like my aunt was always like, whenever she came over to our house, she'd always be there like 30 minutes early. I'm like, you're crazy. But then now I get it, and I like show up everywhere. Like my friends know, like, don't talk to me when I'm not on time. Like when I'm not early, if I'm not like 15 minutes early, I like completely freak out. And my friends are always like, it's okay. Like you're going to be there on time. I was like, but on time is not early. Like I was like, it's two different things. Yeah. So that's definitely huge for me, but I'm like always on time.
Well, that's going to be a really great thing on your side for when you're out of college.
Oh, for sure.
In the real world.
Yeah, I know.
That's something I got to figure out.
Oh,
Anyway, do you feel like being a pitcher has shaped who you are off the field?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think in the game, like you learn so much about like how having to like deal with the tough situations and stuff. So like being able to do that is like something that I've like translated into the real world and like used it and like that kind of thing of like always just wanting more and wanting to get better and like that kind of thing. And I feel like I do that, translate that right into like my real life.
What goals are you chasing right now?
As a team, we're chasing playoffs right now. We still have a chance to clinch a spot. So we have some good series coming up soon. So that's definitely huge for our team right now.
Very excited.
Yes.
All right. I have one last question for you. What is one piece of advice you want to give your freshman year self?
Oh, that's a good question. I think slow down, enjoy the fun moments. I've had so many good moments with my teammates. I had a lot of the girls who just graduated last year, like still my best friends. And like I talk to them all the time. And so I think just like realizing that like there is more than just softball. And like I have met so many of my closest friends that I'll have for like the rest of my life. And I think just like freshman year being like, okay, like this is good. Like you got this, like focus, like have fun, like enjoy your time here, like slow down, like don't let the stress and the pressure get to you and like all the nonsense, like just try to like really enjoy it where you're at.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank you for having me.
today.
This is so amazing.
Of course.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. We will see you in the next one.